Hello, Trenton Thunder fans, and welcome to Arm & Hammer Park. We're happy to bring you the Cases Pork Roll pregame show for tonight's Eastern League Alumni Home Run Derby presented by Arm & Hammer. I'm Jon Bodnar, and I'm joined by Bryan Rock. And Bryan, the fans are in for a treat tonight as we feature 8 of the best Eastern League alumni in this special virtual Home Run Derby event.
Yeah, very exciting here for this Eastern League Alumni Home Run Derby. A lot of big names and former Eastern League players that will represent their parent club here tonight.
So, Bryan, before we get into tonight's brackets and the matchups, the rules for the fans at home. This is a bracket-style event. Each hitter will get 3 minutes, and they'll receive a 30-second bonus for home run if they hit 2 home runs over 440 feet, which I don't think any of these guys will have an issue accomplishing that tonight. And we're going to be bringing you this live from Old Yankee Stadium. And, Bryan, the first matchup we'll feature tonight is Andrew McCutchen representing the Altoona Curve going up against our own Aaron Judge.
Yeah, great to see Andrew McCutchen there representing the Altoona Curve and the Pittsburgh Pirates, and, of course, the hometown boy, Aaron Judge. Definitely a favorable matchup for Judge as he has the power upgrade over McCutchen for sure.
Yeah, and Aaron Judge participating in home run derbies before. We've seen, great feat from him and long home runs. So I'm really excited to see what Aaron Judge can bring to the table. But following that matchup is going to be a father-son exciting matchup that, we would never get to see in real life. But representing the New Hampshire Fisher Cats, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and representing the Harrisburg Senators is Vlad Guerrero Sr.
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite matchup here tonight. Father-son battle, a Vlad Sr. in his prime versus a Vlad Jr. who's also in the come-up right here. So 2 really great power bats for the Guerreros, and I think you think Jr. might have a little bit of an edge with being a little bit younger on Pops here tonight, but it'll be an entertaining matchup as father-son go at it here for the second battle.
And following that matchup, we'll see Manny Machado going back to his Bowie Bay Sox days, and then home run champion from last year, Pete Alonso. Really one of the more exciting matchups of the first round. Alonzo with his raw power going up against Machado, who just has that beautiful swing.
Yeah, we saw Alonzo in last year's home run derby just put on an absolute show, and he definitely has that power from the polar bear. And Manny Machado, yes, a beautiful swing and doing it now for the San Diego Padres, but we bring him back to Baltimore for this scenario, and this will be a very interesting matchup between these two.
And then lastly, we'll have Mookie Betts of the Portland Sea Dogs going up against legendary Michael Jack Schmidt of the Reading Phillies. Something that's going to be really exciting, seeing Michael Jack Schmidt in Old Yankee Stadium. I think something that the fans are all looking forward to in this round 1 matchup. But Mookie Betts definitely not going to be an easy out in this first round.
Yeah, a little bit of surprise here as Mookie, not really known for his power too much. And so it'll be interesting to see how he can get the ball out of here at Old Yankee Stadium. But very excited to see Michael Jack Schmidt get out there and hit some balls in Old Yankee Stadium like he used to do.
Well, fans, we are excited to bring you this Eastern League Home Run Derby presented by Arm & Hammer. Thank you very much for joining us on the Cases Pork Roll pregame show, and we'll be right back after this for Andrew McCutchen leading off. And welcome, Trenton Thunder fans, to the Eastern League Alumni Home Run Derby presented by Arm & Hammer on Thursday Night Thunder as we take a look at our contestants here tonight. And coming up next is going to be Andrew McCutchen. But we are excited to bring this to you tonight as we take a look at Andrew McCutchen stepping into the box. I am Jon Bodnar alongside my Thursday Night Thunder co-host Bryan Rock. And joining us tonight on a roundtable discussion is Trevor Hain, the Director of Finance for the Trenton Thunder, and of course, Matt Hillman, former on-field host and Kids Club OG. Thank you guys for joining us here tonight.
Pleasure to be here.
Good to be here.
As we take a look at McCutchen, he's already on the board. Andrew McCutchen, representing the Altoona Curve tonight, sponsored by PNC, and the fan that is up for the Thunder prize pack, Heather Shippen from Branchburg, New Jersey. So Heather, best of luck to you as McCutchen continues here, but only 1 so far. And Guys, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight, a lot of big hitters from the Eastern League. Obviously capped off with our representative, Aaron Judge. But looking at the lineup tonight, and Brian, we'll start with you. Who's the favorite? Who's your favorite tonight?
You got to think, looking at everything, obviously Judge, a big-time favorite, big home run hitter for the New York Yankees. I think he's definitely up there, but I'm gonna take a pick at last year's home run derby champion in Pete Alonso, a young guy who just came off a home run derby championship last year. Really surprised us last year with a lot of power for the New York Mets. So I'm gonna put my money here tonight on Pete Alonso, representing the Binghamton Rumble Ponies.
We continue here with just a minute and 30 seconds left. Andrew McCutchen so far with 7 home runs on his night so far. So looking to put up a big number as, he's going to need it for Aaron Judge. But Matt, who do you got in tonight's derby?
Yeah, I think you look at the field, there are a lot of good contestants, and I think showcases how much talent there has been going through the Eastern League throughout the last, several years, even going back, into the 90s. But I'm going to pick a throwback pick of Michael Jack Schmidt. I like Mike Schmidt's chances this evening.
As we see McCutchen put that one in the upper deck, and starting to heat up now is McCutchen. And who's your favorite tonight?
Yeah, McCutchen's got a good showing right now, and he's not your typical home run guy. He's only had 30 home runs or more once in his career, but already a couple with over 400 the bonus already earned. But I think I'm leaning towards Vlad Guerrero Sr. Vlad Guerrero Jr. last year had a big showing, but I don't think the old man's going to let the kid show him up this time, and he's going to come out here and put on quite a show. So I'm leaning Vlad Guerrero Sr. for the old timers, the mid-90s kids back there.
And we'll look into McCutchen's last 10 seconds here. It's like Trevor said, he's putting up a good round, and we see that one head over to right field, but it's going to drop. And McCutchen putting up a nice number as he will be done there, and that one is going to sneak out. So 12 for McCutchen before his bonus time as that'll kick off. I'm going to go with Vlad Guerrero Jr. Like B-Rock said, he went with Alonzo and obviously a big, strong, young hitter. But Vladdy was right there with him. So I'm going to take Junior to your senior, Trev, and I'm going to say the youngster is able to get tonight done. As we see the last 10 seconds here for McCutchen as he tries to do what he can to combat Aaron Judge. That one hit well. Back to left field, a little back, but not going to be enough. And that is going to be it for Andrew McCutchen here in his first round. Very well, puts up a big number that Aaron Judge is going to have to match.
Yeah, great job by McCutchen here as he takes a little team photo here.
And now we take a look at Aaron Judge stepping into the box representing our own Trenton Thunder. And Aaron Judge going to have a little bit of work to do. And the fan representative is Patty Jackman from Yardville, New Jersey. And presenting Aaron Judge here tonight is NJM. And we're lucky enough to be joined by 2 representatives from NJM, Mike Van Wagner and Jeff Richardson. So, guys, welcome to the play-by-play booth.
Good to be here.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Of course. As we see Aaron Judge get off to a quick start, Mike, we'll quickly turn it over to you for the fans that may not know, who NJM is. Can you give us a little background?
I'm happy to. As much as I want to give a John Sterling call on that Aaron Judge home run, I'll get to NJM. But NJM is one of New Jersey's leading insurance companies. We were started almost 107 years ago right here in Trenton. And today we insure, we're the leading insurer of homes, one of the top insurers of cars, both here in New Jersey. And we also have expanded our business into Pennsylvania. We insure a lot of folks nearby and throughout Pennsylvania, but particularly a lot of your Thunder fan base right across the river in Bucks County. We're also a large writer of businesses. We're the state's largest writer of workers' comp insurance. And I think to bring it all back is we've been around for 107 years, and supporting the community that we serve is real important to us. And it's organizations like the Thunder and so many nonprofits that are a big part of our core values as well. So happy to be a part of today's broadcast, and look forward to talking more.
Yeah, as we see Aaron Judge creeping his way towards Andrew McCutchen, but definitely has some work to do with just over a minute left, has already earned that 30-second bonus time, so has a little comfort in his back pocket. But, Mike, I think one of the things that you may not have touched on, and most importantly about NJM, is that you are the presenting sponsor of the Trenton Thunder.
Well, and I appreciate the reminder. We've had a long partnership for the Thunder, and it's a good one. I think that left field wall is prominent for the NJM billboard, and that's actually one of our first marketing pieces going back many years. So it's a great and deep and a partnership that we love, and our employees do as well.
Awesome, and transitioning to that, each night NJM has a special family night here at the ballpark, and the proceeds of that event go to a special cause. And Jeff, can you tell us a little bit more about that, as we're in the last 30 seconds of Aaron Judge and still 3 behind McCutchen?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, John. The family night that NJM puts on each year is a great event. We draw approximately 900 to 1,000 of our fans and Special Olympics athletes, raising close to $5,000 for Special Olympics of New Jersey. Participate in an on-field check presentation, promotional activities, first pitch. It is a wonderful occasion and something that we always look forward to on our calendars.
Aaron Judge will have 30 seconds of bonus time to hope that he can capture this first round. It would have been a huge shock to see the number 1 seed go out early in this tournament. So a late run by Aaron Judge as he will now begin his bonus time. And Mike and Jeff, we want to thank both of you for hopping on and being the presenting sponsor of Aaron Judge here tonight. So thank you both for taking the time out as we get to watch a little bit of Judge here as the first pitch is swung on, and that will definitely put Aaron Judge into the second round. So it didn't take him long at all, just a few seconds. And just like that, Judge is moving on. And again, want to thank you both for your time today.
Thanks for having us.
It was a pleasure. Yes, thank you both.
And Brian, we take a look at Judge and McCutchen's home runs here, and a little bit of a scare in that first round as Matt pulls himself back into the broadcast here now. But, Judge moving on.
Yeah, absolutely. And then McCutchen put on a great showing there in the top as the first batter, 13 strong right off the bat for McCutchen. And Aaron started strong, 6-7 real quick right off the bat to get him going. Slowed down a little bit towards the end and just got enough to get to 13 home runs to tie McCutchen at the end of his 3-minute total. And then it only took 1 swing in his 30-second bonus time to take Aaron Judge onto the second round. So very exciting for us Thunder and Yankee fans to see Aaron Judge going to the second round here of the Home Run Derby.
So Andrew McCutchen officially eliminated, the first one from the tournament. And like Brian said, Judge moving on.
Hitting first, representing the Toronto Blue Jays.
And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. represented by Northfield Bank tonight. And the fan that's rooting on Vladdy Jr. is Kim Bainey from Ashburn, Virginia. As we know, Trenton Thunder are worldwide. So we have Kim checking in from Ashburn, Virginia. Always good to expand our reach here at the Trenton Thunder. But Vladdy with a big first swing, but that's not going to get out. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. obviously representing the New Hampshire Fisher Cats and made his quick rise to the Blue Jays. But guys, this is a guy that just has all kinds of talent. And, we grew up watching, his dad, who will hit next, Vlad Guerrero Sr. But it's kind of cool that a whole new generation is going to have a Vladimir Guerrero.
Yeah, John, I agree. I mean, his dad was something else, and doesn't play the same position, so you won't get to see that arm from the outfield like you could with the dad. But he had an impressive rookie year here, and I think only bigger things are going to come from him in the next few years, and he's going to turn to a superstar in a name of his own pretty soon here.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was so excited for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to get up to the big leagues. Then, Rookie of the Year voting, he's only like 6th, and just a lot of untapped potential that, we're waiting on.
Yeah, I think you saw that when he came through with New Hampshire early in that 2018 season. And I remember seeing him in person. He hit a home run to center field, and I think the ball got out in 3 seconds. Just the raw power that he has is really unmatched with a lot of other rookies out there. So there's a lot of potential there with Junior for sure.
Yeah, we got to see him a little bit here in Trenton. It was short-lived in his Double-A career, really. You look at it, only 61 games played for Guerrero here for the New Hampshire Fisher Cats, and in those 61 games, the power was there. Not a whole lot of home runs. Only hit 14 in those 61 games, but the number that really stands out in that showing is his average of 402 in that time frame. And we all were there with the Thunder when he was playing with New Hampshire, and Matt, you hit it on the head. The raw just potential he had was just something different. The sound off his bat during BP or even in a game was just unmatched to most guys you see coming in.
And he's heating up right now. I mean, 30 seconds to go, only 9 home runs, which isn't crazy. We see another one hit there, but he's going to have to put up a big number because Dad's coming up next, and he's a big bopper as well. As we see number 10 get out, has already earned that bonus. But I agree with both you and Matt, Bry. I think Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit one of the hardest hit balls I've ever seen. I mean, if you were just walking around Arm & Hammer Park that night, you turned and ran back to the field of play to see what happened.
Yeah, and Brian, like you touched on, the average in Double-A was something else. And I think that's what excites a lot of people is you don't get a lot of young guys who are going to come up and hit 4 average in power. And he's one of those few guys that I think is going to come up, and he showed he could do it in the minors. And I think a lot of people think that's going to continue as he keeps playing here in the big leagues.
And we see the time ticking down, 3, 2, 1, and that is going to do it for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So only 12 home runs in the round for the youngster. Definitely, I think he thought he'd get a little bit more. Not the highest number we've seen, with his dad coming up next in Vladimir Guerrero. And so a number to put up as we see Vlad Guerrero Sr. step into the box here representing Penn Fed Credit Union, and cheering Vlad on tonight is Juliana Jones from Mullica Hill, New Jersey. And Trevor, here's your pick right here. So with the Sun only putting up 12, how you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. And the one thing I want to point out, you always remember that when I was growing up, notice the no batting gloves. That was a staple for Vlad Sr. here. And, he's put up a couple 40 home run seasons in his career, and the guy can hit a ball. I mean, it doesn't look like his BP pitcher is giving him great pitches here, but for Vlad Sr., it doesn't matter. He can bounce it in there. He'll take care of it. As you see that one going to the upper deck there. So feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good about that 12 seems like it should be in reach for him.
Yeah, Trev, I was just about to mention that bounce pitch because it didn't matter where you threw the ball in the strike zone or outside of the strike zone with Vladimir Guerrero. He'd find a way to get the bat on the ball and get a hit somehow, some way. He found a way.
So Vladdy here is, one of 2 Hall of Famers in our field tonight, with Mike Schmidt coming up later. But Vlad Guerrero Jr. also has, or senior, I should say, also has another fun fact about him. He's played with actually 2 Eastern League teams. Obviously representing the Harrisburg Senators here, with his Nationals logo, which he never played for, but representing the Senators nonetheless. But also had a very quick stop with the Bowie Bay Sox in a rehab appearance back in 2011. So, representing the Eastern League on a number of different levels.
Yeah, John, I think that's a very cool fun fact. Is probably most people didn't, and I know we talked about it before the show tonight, and you mentioned that to me, and I had no idea. And then we go back and look at the team that Vlad played for. Obviously, mostly known for his time with the Expos and the Angels. And it's funny that we look at it, and the 2 different types of team for the Angels he played for. He He played for both of them. He played for the Anaheim Angels and then was there for the transition to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So Vladdy was right there in the middle of the transition of the Angels out in LA, which was pretty cool to see. And, you know, that shortstop in Baltimore towards the end of the career got him a second shot in the Double-A Eastern League for one game at least.
Yeah, and I don't know how you guys remember Vlad Guerrero. I certainly remember him pretty much split, you know, between the Expos and the Angels. You know, when he pops into my mind, I can, you know, usually it's like one way or the other as we see another ball go out here. So he's only 4 behind his son right now. With 20 seconds to go, has already earned that bonus round. So, you know, we'll keep a close eye. But, you know, I'll turn it over to you guys too. You know, I know we're all around the same age, but when you think of Vlad Guerrero, do you think of him as the Expo, as the Angel? You know, which way do you guys kind of?
Yeah, I mean, I picture him in the field as an Expo and as a hitter as an Angel, if that makes sense. The one thing I can't get out of my mind is the throw. It's played time and time again that he made from right field on a fly to third base to throw a guy out. It's probably one of the most impressive throws I've ever seen, that maybe anyone's ever seen. But he spent a lot of time. It wasn't a big drop off when he went to the Angels. He picked right up where he left off with the Expos until the tail end there. So, I get what you mean where you kind of picture him on both teams. But yeah, that image of him making that throw when he was with the Expos really sticks out to me.
Yeah, such a fun player to watch, but he is just going to come up just a touch short, and Vlad Guerrero Sr. is going to be eliminated from our Eastern League Home Run Derby presented by Arm & Hammer. So Vladdy Jr. moving on to the next round, and we'll have a matchup against Aaron Judge. So, you know, doesn't get any easier for Vladdy Jr. in the second round, but as we take a look at the balls that are hit out by Junior and Senior here, you know, just spraying it from center and left field. But a fun first-round matchup, but Junior is going to get the best of Senior.
Yeah, John, that was a great first two battles, and the Junior-Senior was just as much fun as we thought it would be. And you know, speaking of a lot of fun, you know, here at the Trenton Thunder, we love having fun, and I can't think but to bring up 2018, the All-Star Game year for the Trenton Thunder, and obviously we hosted our own Home Run Derby, the Cases Corporal Home Run Derby, the night before the All-Star Game, and who other than Matt Hillman here tonight was our MC that night. So let's take a quick look back at a couple of Matt Hillman's famous calls from the 2018 Home Run Derby presented by Cases Corporal.
Another one, that is deep to right field, into the trees and gone. All right, fans, come on, let's cheer on Connor, see if he can get that next homer, as that one is hit to deep right field. See you later. 6 for Connor Maribel.
So there you have it, a few of Matt Hillman's best calls there in 2018. A lot of fun for the Trenton Thunder that night and our organization. And Matt, you know, let's take a quick, you know, look back at about, you know, how much fun that was for you.
That really is one of the moments that sticks out to me with my time with the Trenton Thunder. It was just such a cool night, and just a lot of the fanfare building up to it, not only the Home Run Derby, but the whole All-Star weekend. So just being down there on the field and just watching balls get launched, and I mean launched out of the stadium, onto the highway, into the river, into the parking lot, wherever, it was just a spectacle to see. And as a player would get into a groove and hit more and more and more, the crowd would just start getting more into it. They'd get more excited. It was just a fantastic night. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it definitely was. As we see Manny Machado here stepping in the box representing the Bowie Bay Sox, presented by First Bank. And cheering on Manny Machado here tonight is Susan Day of East Windsor, New Jersey. So, Susan, make sure you're cheering loud here for Mr. Machado. I remember standing out on the field that day as one of the home run callers, so to speak, kind of, you know, initial to you, Matt, of, you know, that ball was gone or it wasn't going. And I wasn't standing in front of a screen. I was standing, you know, way out in the outfield. and a little scary out there being in the outfield. Don't have a glove, and these guys are launching baseballs. John and Trevor, I know you guys were kind of out and about in that area as well. What are some of your thoughts from that instance, being out in the field, seeing these guys? You see them all the time from up in the stands, but you never see them from field level in the field.
Yeah, Bri. The two words that come to mind for me are pure terror. It was it was terrifying out there, as I had, like 50 to 60 little leaguers, not a care in the world, just wanting to be as close to the action as possible and, ready to jump in front of a screaming line drive if it came at them, if that's what it took to get a ball. But no, for me as a grown adult, just pure terror. But going back to Matt's excitement as we see Machado put another one out here and looking good so far in his first round. But the crowd was just, like you said, it was so electric. And, coming into, that All-Star game was a lot of our first one. Trenton has obviously hosted a few over the years, but as a young staff, it was really our first time experiencing something like this. And a lot of what I heard was it was going to be questionable, the amount of home runs. They hadn't really seen a whole lot of action in years past. And I mean, we saw a show. I mean, Bri, we talked about it, not too long ago when we were putting together the field for tonight's, and one of the Hartford Yard Goats potential representative was Sam Hilliard, and obviously he took part in our competition, and it was so much fun, and like it is one of the highlights of my career. But thinking back to it, yeah, it was terrifying. It was terrifying being down the field, without a doubt.
Yeah, Brian, the one thing that sticks out to me being in the field was it was impressive how hard these guys could hit a ball with how quick they were resetting. I mean, they were throwing pitches felt like every 2 seconds flat. So you're still watching the ball go out, and they're already ready to go for the next pitch, ready to reset, and sending another one out there. So I think that was impressive. They didn't need time, 10 seconds between pitches or anything like that to reset, and it didn't slow them down at all. That's where you see that natural talent really shine through, and they didn't get too tired. I mean, some of them got 100 swings in 2 minutes, it seemed like, and didn't seem to tire out. So I think that was one of the more impressive things, being down in that field, just hearing the crack of the bat every couple seconds and trying to find where that ball was while you're watching another one fly over your head. So it was something else being out there.
As we see Machado's last swing here in his bonus time, and that's going to go foul. So Machado here will end up with 15, a great showing, Machado, the most so far in the first round. And here comes his counterpart, Pete Alonso, here tonight.
Pete Alonso, of course, represented by the Binghamton Rumble Ponies and Berkshire Bank here tonight. And cheering on Pete Alonso is Brian Brown from Croydon, PA. And here's Alonso, a.k.a. what, Trevor? What do you like to call him?
Polar bear, ice in his veins. We saw that at the Home Run Derby last year.
Yeah, we did. Of course, Pete Alonso and Vladdy Jr. putting on a show, and one we hope to see tonight as he hits that first one out. But a big number to match with Machado's 15. So probably one of the best matchups of the night, which is expected at the the 3-6 seating.
Yeah, this will definitely be an interesting one here with two guys currently in the league. Machado been in the league for quite a while now, and Pete Alonso just jumping in the league last year, and like Trevor said, and John, you mentioned a great showing in last year's Home Run Derby, earning himself that Home Run Derby championship, as well as his Rookie of the Year last year.
Yeah, I know those Yankee fans will probably bring up, the fact that the record that Alonso broke of Judges, there was a question about the balls they were using last year, but watching these balls go out right now, it looks like they might be using the same baseballs they used in 2019. So putting on pretty good numbers again.
As we see another one just jacked out of here by Alonso, and he is on a roll right now. And Trev, that's not any of your Yankee fan bias coming out there, is it?
No, none at all. No Yankee fan bias, no anti-Mets bias, nothing like that.
Alonzo having himself around right now, as we see. He's at the just over the 1 minute mark and has already put up a 10 spot. So just 5 behind Machado. But this is where the pressure kicks on. And, we have seen these guys not use their timeouts tonight. They were reared up and ready to go. And, but a minute left and still down 5, needs 6 to pass him. So we'll see if he's able to catch Machado.
Yeah, he takes one there. And like you said, only 5 behind, just under a minute. And yeah, this is where the stamina starts to play in. You're at 2 minutes in. There's one just inside the foul pole to get him to 11. And, 2 minutes in, nonstop swinging. It's really full stamina here from, that last minute is you're putting it all out there. These guys are dead tired after 2 minutes. So that last minute is just pure emotion, them trying to put as many balls out here for the fans. And Pete here is putting on a show here with 20 seconds to go, only down 2 of Manny Machado.
Yeah, this is the point where, after watching Matt's calls just a little bit ago, that I can hear Matt, literally hyping up the crowd at Arm & Hammer Park.
Oh, man. Yeah, and at the end of this, I'd need, 32 ounces of water. I was so hoarse.
And we're going to go to bonus time with Pete Alonso just down 1. So an exciting finish here between Machado and Alonso. So we see that one hit deep. And it's comeback time. Here we go. He needs 2 to catch him.
Yeah, and you see a couple of these with Alonso did what he did in the home run derby last year. He kind of knows exactly how much energy he needs to put in. Some of these have snuck over the wall, 375, 380 feet, and he knows what he has to do to get him out. So he's saving some of his energy, it looks like, for these later rounds if he gets this one out of here.
And there it is. Pete Alonso moving on to the second round, eliminating Manny Machado. And, guys, that is why they have this home run derby. That excitement as we see the stat tracker here from the balls that Machado and Pete Alonso hit out. And it looks like, he really didn't miss a beat from his 2019 campaign. And a lot of times they do talk about the experience that these home run hitters have and getting it from the home run derby competitions.
Yeah, we see, as the fly track here, it's a great showing by the two of them. And Pete, like Trevor said, saving enough energy just in enough time to get that last one out in bonus time to knock out Machado. So a great outing by Pete Alonso. You think he has the upper hand, just hitting in 1 last year. As we look into the updated bracket here, as Machado officially eliminated. And here comes the Portland Sea Dogs representative, Mookie Betts. And Mookie Betts is presented by PSENG. And cheering on Mookie Betts tonight here is Nicole Quigley of Warrington, Pennsylvania.
Mookie probably the smallest guy, I would say, in this competition today. But with that small stature, I think it's going to bring some pop. Obviously a former MVP, World Series champion. Mookie traded to the Dodgers this last offseason. Has obviously yet to play for the Dodgers, so that whole interesting scenario. But we see Mookie get a hold of one on his first swing. So maybe the dark horse here tonight.
Yeah, I think Mookie is an interesting guy to go in this. Like you said, John, a smaller guy, not really known for the home runs, but maybe a fresh start from him out in LA. He's enjoying that LA sunshine, I can imagine, right now during all the quarantine. So it'll be interesting to see Mookie there in a Dodgers uniform if we do get to see that this year. Obviously, as a Yankees fan, and I'm sure Trevor can attest to this with me, you like Mookie as a player. He's a good player. He's, pretty quiet. He's not a big guy for the media. But talk about a Yankee killer. He always found a way to beat up on the Yankees. But as a Yankees fan, I respect the talent that Mookie has. He's a tremendous outfielder, one of the best right fielders in the game right now, and it'll be exciting to watch him much further in the future play outside of the AL East for sure.
Yeah, Brad, I can definitely agree with that. He's not a huge guy like you guys said, but he does have a lot of pop. It's not just the home runs, the doubles that he hits every year. I mean, even when they're not going out, they're getting to the warning track, getting to the wall. But, you mentioned he's enjoying that LA sunshine. And, with a temporary break on baseball right now, I'm sure he's happy that, a lot of these guys that they can get out. They're not going to get that farmer's tan that some of these guys get every year and come back with nice even tans ready for the season to start back up. So I'm sure he's not too unhappy, just like the rest of the Yankee fans are, that he's out in LA and not in Boston. And I'm sure, it's going to transition pretty well out there.
That one out of here.
It's all about that, getting that tan in and keeping it clean haircuts. I'm sure all these guys are, well pampered with their time off, much like us minor league employees, enjoying the time away, but sure do miss baseball. And Mookie Betts is putting on a show here, and with Mike Schmidt coming up next, this is going to be interesting because Mookie's going to put up a higher number than I think people might have projected out of the 7th spot. And Matt, you picked Mike Schmidt to win this whole thing. You started to sweat a little bit over there?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't want to discredit Mookie Betts. I mean, obviously he's a great player, but yeah, I mean, we'll see what Michael Jack Schmidt here has in the tank, but Mookie's for sure putting on a show.
And we see Mookie Betts with 16 as he is going to be wrapping up his bonus time here. And 16 is a heck of a number, from the outfielder today representing the Portland Sea Dogs and now LA Dodgers. So as we see him walk off the field, very happy with his round and getting the Gatorade from George Springer and Mike Trout. So definitely deserves a seat as we see Mike Schmidt step into the box here in Old Yankee Stadium. And like you said, Matt, Mike Schmidt, one of the best hitters of all time, definitely probably the best Philadelphia Philly of all time. Mike Schmidt representing the Reading Fightin' Phils and is presented tonight by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey. And cheering on Michael Jack Schmidt is Evan Spiegel of Doylestown, Pennsylvania. So, Evan, make sure you're cheering him on in this first round. But, Mike Schmidt, a great player here, but the youth of Mookie Betts might get the best of him tonight as we start this last batter of the first round.
Yeah, well, we shall see. I think with Michael Schmidt, I think a lot of people who are our age don't really know what kind of player he was. We didn't get a chance to really watch him, but from what I hear from my father and other people, that he was one of the best, and he's the subject of one of the greatest calls in Harry Callis's career, the 500th home run. So he's one of the best Phillies of all time, probably one of the best third basemen of all time. So we'll see what he can do here.
Definitely, and Mike Schmidt, the second of our two Hall of Famers in the field tonight, and it's pretty amazing that just the history that the Reading franchise carries. We look at guys that are in this competition today, two rookies represented in this field, or two rookies from the 2019 season in Vlad Jr. and Pete Alonso. And then you have somebody like Michael Jack Schmidt, for the Reading Fightin' Phils. And that, I mean, we put together the best four from that franchise, but we probably could have put together like a list of 25 people from the fans to vote on. It's just remarkable of the history, and for anybody that's ever been out to Reading, that you get to experience when you walk through those gates.
Yeah, that's for sure, John. I remember when we were trying to pick the four to represent the Reading Fightin' Phils to go into the voting round that the fans took part in on Twitter last week. It was hard for us. We threw a lot of names out there. I think the Fightin' Phils were the one we probably spent the most time on. where you go through their all-time roster and the names just kept piling up. Guys like Ryan Howard as well, and Chase Utley, and a lot of guys from current and recent Phillies teams all the way back to the Michael Jack Schmidt days as well. So that Reading Fighting Phils franchise has a ton of players that have gone on to play for the Bigs and have done a very good job. As we see Mike Schmidt here putting on a decent showing here, now 13 home runs with 10 seconds remaining, has earned the 30-second bonus time. And you look at his career, and just an outstanding career. As we see his final ball, let's see if this one's going to get out to tie Mookie Betts, and it's just going to fall short. So here's his 30-second bonus time. But you think of Michael Jack Schmidt, and Matt, you mentioned it, of the one of the best third basemen of all time, 3-time MVP, a World Series champion, a World Series MVP, 6 Silver Sluggers, 10 Gold Gloves, a 12-time All-Star, and the accolades just go on and on for Mike Schmidt.
They certainly do, Brian, but we're going to see a big-time upset in this first round as time is going to tick away, and Mookie Betts, 16, is going to hold up against one of the best hitters of all time. So Mike Schmidt is eliminated as we see him walk off the field, and Mookie Betts is going to be, in the final four here. And what a night that we had tonight as we see the bracket pop up here. Not a ton of surprises. The 4-5 resulted in a great matchup between Vladdy Jr. and Vladdy Sr. The upset with Mookie Betts. But as we look at this final four, guys, and as we get excited for next week on Thursday Night Thunder, the second round, and of course the finals, we sit here and 2 of the 4 still have a horse in the race, with myself and Brian going with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for me and Pete Alonso for Brian, and Trevor and Matt, your horse is out of this race. But we take a look at this field, and you guys, how you feeling as we wrap tonight up and look forward to next week?
Yeah, John, I think right off the bat you see a lot of the youth showed. It looks like every single matchup the younger guy came out on top here, and I think that shows when we do start getting back into Trenton Thunder baseball, there's a lot of youth on its way up also, so that should get people excited for what's coming in the future. And I think like you said, we had some surprises, but those young guys really came up and showed up tonight.
Yeah, next week is going to be quite a show. 2 matchups that are showcased here. You really couldn't ask for anything better. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Well, thank you, fans, for tuning in tonight for Thursday Night Thunder for the Eastern League Alumni Home Run Derby presented by Arm & Hammer. We look forward to seeing you next week on Thursday at 6 p.m. for the second round and finals. We hope you all have fun tonight, and we'll see you next week.